Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everybody. I'm back again. This time, like I promised, for those who are following me in the beginners in the beginners class, I said that I am going to send a video YouTube to tell those who have missed classes to subscribe and follow the lessons that they have missed so that they can catch up with us because we have reached up to page 10 of the book that we are using uh, for our beginners lessons. So actually what we did was we covered days of the week, months of the year. We counted up to 100. We have already learned how to count, and we did the alphabet and the seasons. Yeah? And then we also learned how to introduce ourselves and to even to introduce a member of our family, to introduce a friend, and to introduce us to introduce oneself. So I'm going to encourage you to go and find these things. Also, you will find them in YouTube. You just go to YouTube and you type how to introduce oneself in French, how to introduce somebody in French, how to count 1 up to 10, days of the week, months of the year, even the alphabet, even the seasons. You can get all this in YouTube, and you can practice, and then you can catch up with us so that we can go on together. And please, I encourage you to come to class as often as possible so that you'll also be following. But I will also be putting up classes of what we've done so that you can keep catching up. But try to attend classes so that you can be up to date. But even if you miss classes, try and use YouTube because you are supposed to be autonomous. You can do this by yourself, and you are going to improve and go much faster. Since you're in France, you just meet these things every day. Okay, so let me start by days of the week so that we can know how to pronounce them. So you will be pronouncing after me, and then you can practice them. YouTube, you can get them and practice how to say days of the week. So we have lundi. Lundi is Monday. Mardi is Tuesday. Mercredi is Wednesday. Jeudi is Thursday. Vendredi is Friday. Samedi is Saturday. Dimanche is Sunday. So you can see those. You can repeat just like I said. Lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche. Those are for the days of the week. Then we go to the months of the year. You have janvier, février, mars, avril, mai, juin, juillet, août, septembre, octobre, novembre, December. So that is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So it's quite simple. Janvier, février, mars, avril, mai, juin, juillet. I know July is a bit complicated because when an I is before two L's, in French you pronounce them like you say like as if it is a Y. So that's why you say juillet. Probably that one is going to give a bit of difficulty, but after some time you get used to it. So juillet, and then you have août. You pronounce it août. You don't say août. You don't say août. Août. Septembre, October, November, December. It's just like in English, except that instead of it ending with ER, it ends with RE. Then let's get to the counting part, which is also which can be done also. So you have 1, which is 1, then 2 is 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9 is 9. Then you have this, which is 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The alphabet is very important to pronounce it so that you can see the difference, how the pronunciation is done in French compared to English. So you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, S-T-U-V-W-X-Y-Z. You will hear why you say Y. Y actually means a Greek I, because E is I in English. In French, you say E, which is I, and then you say Grec, so it is Y. It means a Greek I. So you can even say it very fast. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Then let's get to the seasons, because the seasons, in Europe we have seasons. So you have le printemps. Le printemps is spring. Then you have l'été, which is summer. Then you have l'automne, which is fall, and l'hiver. You will notice in French there is always before names of things. So for example, name of things or name of things like chair, like table, and all that. Things that are in grammar you call them nouns. In front of nouns you have something like an le, which is called an article. It is a defined article. You'll either find le or you'll find un or une, which is indefinite article and definite article. So le means the, but this is because it is masculine, because in French things are either masculine or feminine. For example, the chair is feminine. The chair, you say la chaise. La chaise. So you'll have to say la chaise. When it is feminine, you have to say la. When it is masculine, you say le. So here, printemps is masculine. So it is the spring. Actually, that's what it means. And then you will see also there's an L with l'automne and l'hiver, L apostrophe. When you see L apostrophe like that, it means that a vowel has been removed. And if you see L apostrophe with then there's H. H is silent in French. So here is as if H was not there, as if there was an I. So there's an E has been removed. A vowel has been removed. That's why you say l'automne, l'hiver. And then l'été also, the E with an accent. The accent in this lesson, I talked about the accent, but we are not going. You can learn about accents, how they work, and so there's a lesson in page 1. I think to start, you have about accents. We did that, but what is more important is to enter into actually to the pronunciation and to the learning and all that. And then all of this, le printemps, l'été, l'automne, et l'hiver, these are les saisons, which means the seasons. So les is the plural of le. Yeah, it's the plural of le, which is le. Le is singular, les is plural, so which means the seasons. Yeah, the seasons. Thank you. So the next thing that we actually learned, which always is actually the first steps when you enter into learning of a foreign language is concerned. These are the first things that you learn how to do, how to introduce yourself. Like when you meet somebody, how you're going to introduce yourself. You can ask them questions and so on. But the first and foremost, we are going to just learn how to say these things, which is important for you to now start entering. Actually, because like you're in France, most of you are in France. I know I have some students who are not in France, but the majority of the students who are here, they're in France, so they have definitely they have heard how they have had these things. So, for example, here we have an illustration of a small boy who is actually introducing himself. He's called Marc. So he introduces himself. He starts with "Je m'appelle Marc. J'ai deux petits frères et une grande sœur. Ma mère s'appelle Lily, mon père s'appelle Paul, et mon chat Spot." So this is what it means. I am called Mark. I have two small brothers and one big sister. My mother is called Lily. My father is called Paul, and my cat Spot. So you will realize, like what I said is, I think I told you that in front of names of things or people or objects and so on, you always have what you call an article. So that's why you'll see, j'ai deux petits frères. I have two small brothers. A means and une grande sœur. So une means a. Yeah? It means a big sister. So you will see une actually means one. And this, like I said, because in French you always have masculine or feminine. You have the gender rule. Here the une, the e actually stands for feminine. Here it's because, and then you will see that grande also, after D there's an e. So une grande sœur means a big sister, a big sister. So because sister is feminine, you'll have to say une grande sœur. If it was masculine, if it was brother, if it was a big brother, you'll say un grand frère. Grand frère. You will not even hear the D being pronounced. Yeah, you hear the D being pronounced because it's a girl. You'll hear une grande sœur. But if it was a big brother, you'll have to say un, like the one we said when we are counting 1, 2, 3. Un is un, masculine also for definite indefinite article, meaning one big brother. For example, un grand frère. But here it is une grande sœur because it is masculine. With all those things, we'll see them as you go along. So let me continue. So here he says, j'ai 10 ans et j'habite à Paris. So j'ai 10 ans. In French, you actually say I have 10 years. So here it is, I have 10 because we have said 10 is 10. You have started to count. And then years is ANS. So you always have to say j'ai 10 ans. In French, you say I have 10 years. You don't say I am 10 years. That's why you have the verb j'ai. It is the verb to have. You will see the verb also as we go along. Et j'habite à Paris. Habiter is to stay in Paris. Habiter is the verb to stay, but you conjugate it. J'habite à Paris. We are going to learn how to conjugate also with time. Conjugation, it is very important in French. It means how to put the verbs in different forms. That is, if you take I, you, they, and so on. The verbs in French, they change according to the persons. The personal pronouns. So let me continue. Je vais à l'école de mon quartier. Je vais is the verb aller. Je vais. Je is I. I is je. Vais is aller, is to go, is the verb. Actually, now you put it in a form. It's the verb to go is called aller. So here you say je vais à l'école, and you have to realize that this verb is important because in French you say comment allez-vous, which means is the verb how are you, but actually it means how do you go. So, je vais à l'école is I am going to school. De mon quartier is my estate. So, mon, M-O-N, is my. You will see them also as time goes by. So, de mon quartier. Après l'école, je joue dans le parc avec mes amis. Après l'école, je joue dans le parc avec mes amis. So, after school, I play in the park with my friend. J'aime lire et aller à la mer. So that is the last part. I like to read and to go to the sea. So you see, après, actually it means after. L'école École is school. Je is I. Joue. Joue is play. It's from the verb jouer. Jouer is the verb jouer. You will be seeing verbs as we go along. Dans is in. Dans le parc. So le. So like I told you, you will always be seeing le. So I'm sure people are. In fact, you've already been confronting this. I'm sure you will be seeing it. You see dans le parc. You see le is in the parc. So le is the definite article to mean the park. Avec mes amis. Avec is with. Mes amis. Mes is my friends. In French, you see the names of things and so on, they also agree with the number. So if it is plural here, it is mes amis. If it is mes amis, it's because it is plural. If it was one friend, you say mon ami. Mon ami is one friend. M-O-N is my. Like when you see Mark here in the beginning, when you say, hey, mon chat means my cat, because it is one. If there were many, you will say mes chats, and you will add an S on the chat. So mon chat is one cat, but if there were many cats, you just say mes chats, but still, you just going to pronounce mes chats, but you will add an S. And then in the end, there she says, j'aime. The j'aime is the verb to like or to love. J'aime lire. Lire is the verb to read. So in French, the second verb is never conjugated. The first verb is conjugated, which means I have put it in the form with the first person, je, I. So j'aime lire. And then even the second verb is not it's not conjugated. Even the third verb is not conjugated. J'aime lire et aller à la mer. I like to read and to go to the sea. So in French, you will see there's an A with something on top with an accent. It means to, because excuse me, if you just take A without something in an accent, it just means A. But if there's an accent on top of it, that's how I was saying the accent part we did it in the first page completely. But that one you can just go and read for yourself, so that you can learn about the accents. It's not complicated, but you can, if you got some questions to ask, you can just ask. So j'aime lire et and aller. Now you see the verb, that aller, you see the verb now, it's not conjugated, it's the verb to go. If you conjugate it, it says je vais. It is conjugated there when the Mark is saying he goes to school in his estate. Je vais à l'école de mon quartier. So you see in the illustration how to introduce yourself. The first part on top completely, where he says je m'appelle, that is I am called. Then the next part where he's talking about the brother, the brothers and the sisters. So it's j'ai deux petits frères et une grande sœur. And then ma mère, that is my mother, s'appelle Lily. Mon père s'appelle Paul. You will realize that mère is feminine, so that's why it is ma. Mère s'appelle Lily. And then since father is masculine, it is mon père s'appelle Paul. Now I hope you're starting to get the gender idea, the gender issue in France. It's everywhere. And then you come down where Paul there is in a room and is like lying down and is reading something. So actually, and then you can even see the Eiffel Tower. You can see in the background there where he's lying there. Where after he has said mon chat, because also mon chat, you say mon chat spot. So after that, you will see him is lying, and then you can see, and in the background, you will see Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower is in French, you say Tour d'Eiffel. So it's you can see it in the picture there. And then now you go on there where you see some lady there is pointing on some, I think on some blackboard, a whiteboard, pointing with some stick. And then you see Mark carrying books. So there is going, je vais à l'école, is going to school. Je vais à l'école. When you go in French, you always, if you're going to something, you always say à là. Je vais à la maison. I'm going to the house. Je vais à l'école de mon quartier. Je vais ici. Je vais à l'école de mon quartier. De, D-E means of my estate. Say après l'école. So après is after. Après means after. So there where they're playing, you see with a tennis. Is with a tennis racket in the park. So après, after l'école, je joue dans le parc avec mes amis. J'aime, I like to read. J'aime lire et aller à la mer. So I want you to practice with this. You have the book, so all the beginners, you have the book. You will find it. It's in page. I think this is in page 5 of the book that I gave you. The book that you have, the reference, and you have this one is introduced. Learn this, even if you have to learn it offhand. And then the idea is you try to replace Mark with yourself, with your name, for your practice. Try to replace Mark with your name for practice, so that you can say, if your name is Faith, you say je m'appelle Faith. Then you tell us how many brothers you have. You can say the name of your mother, the name of your father. You can tell us how old you are now, and then you can talk about if you go to school or whatever, wherever you go. If you go to work, you can say that one too. And then what you do after either work or school, you say after. And then what you like to do also, you can practice with that. And if you do that, actually we did that, and we have reached about that place, which is important. But you have to also now get to introduce somebody. So that is the next thing we are going to do, because it's pretty. We are going to do, after we are finished with how to introduce yourself, we are going to learn how to introduce somebody. Yeah. Okay. So okay, I'm still with how to introduce oneself, because I think it's pretty important for you to really know how to get to introduce yourself, because you are actually now starting to introduce yourself into French and starting to pronounce French things. So if you get this thing right, you are going to slide slowly and smoothly into the French language, and you're going to enjoy learning the French language actually in my classes. So as you now, this is the written. Is the written part of how to introduce yourself. And as you can see, like I said, you have that verb. You always say je m'appelle, because in French, somebody, if he asks you what is your name, there are two ways of asking somebody: comment vous appelez-vous, or comment tu t'appelles, depending on the person who is talking to you. When you use comment vous appelez-vous, normally it's the formal way of asking. That is somebody official. Maybe you're talking to somebody superior, or in the administration, you always be using vous. But if you're talking to a friend, somebody you know, you always use tu. So tu is so that's why you can say comment tu t'appelles. It's sort of friendly. So you see here, okay, then the reply, if somebody asks you comment tu t'appelles, then you say je m'appelle Mark, ou je m'appelle Faith, ou je m'appelle Suzanne, ou je m'appelle and then you can continue for the introduction to say j'ai 2 petits frères et une grande sœur. Ma mère s'appelle Lily et mon père s'appelle Paul, et mon chat Spot. J'ai 10 ans et j'habite à Paris. Je vais à l'école de mon quartier. Après l'école, je joue dans le parc avec mes amis. J'aime lire et aller à la mer. So I have actually in that part, you have you have the introduction, plus you have now the translation. So I hope until there, I hope you are still with us. I hope you're still with us. It would be appropriate to explain the difference of verb use in French as compared to English, but it's important because the verb, how to introduce yourself, it is kind of special, so you will learn slowly and slowly. It's good to understand that it's not the classic way you have to say I'm called and so on and so on, because you're seeing something here. Je m'appelle. I'm going to explain it to you because one of my students, I think I've already explained to him. I hope you actually you understood actually how this verb behaves. But there's no panic, because there's no difficulties in pronunciation and whatever. And you see, French is quite a pretty what do you call it, musical language. It's actually it's reputed as one of the most beautiful languages in the world. And if you learn how to pronounce the words correctly, how it's supposed to be pronounced, if you practice, you're going to realize that French, it's a language which is actually very nice to speak. When you speak it, and you really enjoy it. Because me, that's how I actually started to learn the French language, because I found it very musical, very romantic. Some people say it's very romantic. Even though me, I find Italian even sweeter, but even French is quite uh, uh, spectacular. So learn how to introduce yourself, and uh, and then you can also now jump to the next thing that we are going to do, which I'm going to do. This I think I'm going to is going to be for this part. I'm going to finish with the introduction of oneself. No, I mean, I'm not going. No, I'm not oneself. I'm going to finish with the introduction of someone. How to introduce someone, and then I'll continue to also be updating you, and you can also tell me to. I can put up something that you did not understand, but to make sure that you also do your practices. Go to YouTube, use my book, use the book, the book we use in class, for your reference, and also to ask questions. If there's anything you need me to clarify, I can always. If you miss classes, also you will tell me which part you want me to upload on my channel, and you can follow the channel, so that you can get this thing. So you follow the channel also. You follow the channel. So all the students, I hope the students you'll be following. I'll expect all of you to subscribe, so that you can be getting the lessons that you've missed. And also you can be telling me which lessons you want me to put, so that you can consult them, because you'll be having the reference, you have the book, and you can follow them, so that even when I'm not there, you can catch up, and we can always be on the same page whenever we meet on Monday. Thank you. Okay, last but not least, like I said, I'm going to finish today with how to introduce someone in French. So in this part, we are going to learn how to introduce someone, and I want you to practice how to introduce someone. I mean, even when you're alone or whatever, you try to go to YouTube and try to look for videos that actually shows you these things, and try to follow. But as like I say, always refer to the book that I have given you, because you'll be try to be having it in front of you, and try to follow these courses like the way I'll be putting them online, or like I'll be putting them on YouTube. So here, how to introduce someone in French. Actually, in French, you say comment présenter quelqu'un. Comment se présenter? Se présenter means to introduce yourself, but comment présenter quelqu'un is to introduce someone. So here, I've introduced my friend. Actually, it's just an imaginary friend, but anyway, my friend here, I called him Gilbert. So you start with mon ami. Mon ami means my friend. Mon ami s'appelle Gilbert. You'll notice the pronunciation of Gilbert in French is, you'll pronounce it Gilbert. In French, you hardly pronounce the last consonant unless there's an E after the last consonant. So here the consonant, there's a consonant T. You don't pronounce it. You say Gilbert. Mon ami s'appelle Gilbert. You see, I talked about the verbs, the behave. You see, if it is you, you say je m'appelle. If it is your friend, you say s'appelle. Because mon ami is il. Il s'appelle is the third person. Il is the third person. Je is the first person. Tu is the second person singular, or vous is second person singular, or it can be plural. We are going to see that one. We have also seen also with some students, the ones who are there for the classes, for the what you call personal pronouns. Personal pronoun, subject pronoun. There are personal pronouns, but there are when they're subject in a sentence. A personal pronouns is je, tu, vous, nous, puis puis elle, or il, elle, or il with an S, or il, elle with an S. Those are plurals. So You will see them. In fact, I've also sent WhatsApp. I've sent them to you. Those personal, personal pronouns. I've sent them to you. Learn them, master them, and you are going to learn. You realize that it's going to be what you're going to know when you're conjugating verbs. So, mon ami s'appelle Gilbert. My friend is called. Right? Il a. Il a. Now, I said that the verb to have. He has. He has many brothers. Il a beaucoup. Beaucoup means many. Excuse me. Il a beaucoup de frères et de sœurs. Deux sœurs. You have seen the word deux. You know it is two. Il a beaucoup. Beaucoup you pronounce. Is pronounced beaucoup. You don't pronounce the P at that. Il a beaucoup de frères et de sœurs. He has many brothers and two sisters. Sa mère s'appelle Jeanne. You'll notice how you pronounce Jane. You say Jeanne. And son père s'appelle Georges. That's how you pronounce George in French. So sa mère, like I said, sa is the possessive word. Sa. Because it is a woman, you have to say sa mère s'appelle. You see, it is like mon ami s'appelle, et puis sa mère s'appelle. Although it's just like, it still is the third person. You'll be using s'appelle. Sa mère s'appelle Jeanne, et son père s'appelle also Georges. You see, here you are using everybody. Even mon ami s'appelle, sa mère s'appelle, son père s'appelle. You see. So, when we continue, il a un chien. He has a dog. Still the verb a. A here is the verb to have. It's the verb avoir. You will see these verbs. Actually, I have even sent them to you because you are going to learn them since you have been using them here. Now you're going to start looking at them. Il a un chien. He has a dog. Il n'aime pas les chats. You have seen this verb, aimer, to like. Here, I put it in the negation form. Il n'aime pas. That's how you say doesn't like. Il n'aime pas les chats. He has a dog. He doesn't like cats. Il a un chien. Like I told you before, names of things, names of things like chien is a dog or animals or things, you have to put an article. Either it is a definite one or an indefinite one. So here it is an indefinite article. So that's why you have to say il a un chien. Il a 8 ans. He is 8 years old. So we always say he has. Still the verb to have. He is 8 years. Et il habite à Marseille. He pronounced Marseille. And he lives in Marseille. Il a 8 ans et il habite à Marseille. Il va à l'école avec le bus. He goes to school. Still the verb aller. Il va à l'école. Il va à l'école avec le bus. He goes to school by bus. After school, il joue dans le parc avec moi. Après l'école, il joue dans le parc avec moi. After school, he plays in the park with me. You see, because he's the friend of Mark. So it's like he's the friend of Mark. So après l'école, il joue dans le parc avec moi. Après l'école, after school, il joue dans le parc avec moi. He plays in the park with me. Il aime chanter, danser. He likes singing and dancing. So like I told you, the second, even the third verb is never conjugated. That's why you put them in their infinitive form. So il aime is he likes. Chanter is to sing. Danser is to dance. I think you had guessed that one. Okay, so I'll be done for today. So I encourage you, I encourage you to use YouTube. You can look at all these things in YouTube, practice with them, practice how to count through YouTube. You can learn how to count even up to 1,000. You can learn how to count. You finish counting. You finish days of the week. Finish months of the year. Practice play with the alphabet. You'll get them in YouTube. You get in YouTube. You can practice now with what I have given you. Learn how to introduce yourself, master it. Learn how to present somebody, master it. And then when we come to class next time, if you have done this if you master this, if you have practiced this, and you are sure you have practiced it, even if you come to class, I assure you, you will not float, and the activities that we'll be doing, the oral activities, it is going to be very interesting for you, because you'll be able to present yourself, even to present somebody, because that's what we've been doing. Because as we do a lot of orals in my classes, we practice a lot of orals, we do them practically, and then you go and practice, use YouTube, use all those applications you can get. So as far as French is concerned, use them as much as you can. Come with as much French as you can get. Even when you're walking on the street, get French, learn French, ask people questions, be curious, learn how to take some of the few minutes of your time, even per day, or even if it is 3, 4, 5 times, and if it is daily, take that, go to YouTube, get these things. When you come, you are going to feel very easy. You're going to feel very comfortable. You will not feel as if you are left behind. You're not going to float, and also at that you will not drag us behind, because we cannot just be sticking in the same place. We have to move ahead. We have to continue going ahead, because those of us who are in France, you know how important it is for you to learn this French. If you want to integrate into the French community, the French society, even to get jobs, and even if you're planning to stay in France and so on and so forth, this is absolutely important for you to master this language, because the French people, they like it when you speak their language, and you'll be able to understand the administration. You'll be able to go about your businesses in France, and you will see that things will be easier and smoother for those who are planning maybe to settle around, or even if you want to stay around. Thank you.